Hey guys, what's up? Carlson SK here, and welcome to my guide on boosting for the Abyssal Whip. I want to keep this guide short, so let's go ahead and get right into the requirements. For the quest requirements, make sure you have Big Chompy Bird Hunting completed. Priest in Peril so you have access to Canifist, Recipe for Disaster so you have access to the Colomancer's chest. Along with this, I would really recommend that you do Lunar Diplomacy and Desert Treasure as well. These two quests are going to speed up this grind tremendously. Now let's cover the skill requirements. The Wild Pie will always boost your Slayer by 5 levels. So with that being known, the absolute lowest Slayer level you can do this method with is 80. However, I really recommend that you go for at least 82 because this will reduce your pie usage and make this method so much more efficient. Now as for cooking, you need 85 to make wild pies. Then again, this is also boostable. If you plan on boosting for this as well, I would once again recommend 82 or 83 cooking. Now as for prayer, you're going to want to have at least 43 so you can use protect for melee. Adding on to this though, if you have 55 prayer and you somehow have preserve, make sure you use this, both for obviously making the pies and for the actual slaying itself. Lastly, if you plan on using magic for this method, which I would really recommend, make sure you have at least 64 magic for Shadow Burst. But if you don't plan on using magic, don't worry about this requirement or the completion of Desert Treasure. Once again though, I would really recommend doing magic. Now that we have covered all the skill requirements, let's go ahead and move on to our method of obtaining the wild pies. To make a wild pie, you need a pie shell, raw bear meat, a raw chompy, and a raw rabbit. The easiest way to get a pie shell is to come down here to the Colomancer's chest in the Lumbridge basement and buy yourself 9 pots of flour and 9 empty jugs. Go ahead and fill up these jugs with water at the sink and combine your pots of flour with the jugs to make pastry dough. You can bank or drop your pots and go ahead and buy 9 pie dishes. Use your pastry dough on the pie dishes and congrats, you have a pie shell. Now moving on to bear meat. The best way to get bear meat is to actually buy it in Canifist from Rufus's Meat Emporium. Weird name. Anyways, he sells 10 at a time. You can buy this Hob Worlds and that is the best way to get it. And to make it even better, you can bank the meat right here. Now as for raw chompies, the only way to get these is to unfortunately kill them. There's no place in which you can purchase these or pick them up. So make sure you grab yourself around 4 Ogre Bellows, a Ogre Combo, and if you have any of the Western Province diaries completed, you can actually claim some arrows from Rants. Otherwise, you'll need to make some Ogre arrows. The best place to kill chompies is south of Castle Wars, right here. And the best way to get here is to use the Fairy Ring BKP, otherwise you can just use a dueling ring and teleport to Castle Wars and run here. Once here, fill up your bellows, inflate yourself some toads, and get to killing some chompies. To get the chompy meat itself, you do have to pluck the chompy and then pick up the meat off the ground. And there we go, we now have our raw chompy meat. That now leaves us with rabbit meat, which is actually the easiest and quickest thing to get here. You are going to want to buy rabbit meat from any of the charter ship traders. And the best place to do this is either in Catherbean or at the Fishing Trawler in Port Gizzard, both of which are really good choices because the traders are right next to banks. I personally recommend the Port Gizzard trader as you can use the minigame teleport to Fishing Trawler to get right there, as shown. And just to show you guys how easy it is to get rabbit meat, you go ahead and trade these guys. They sell 20 rabbits at a time, and you can either go right to this bank right here or the bank deposit box. And now that we have all the ingredients, we can now assemble our pies. However, if you're like me and you don't have 85 cooking, this is where you're going to need a boost. That and well, when you actually cook the pies. And as you probably could have guessed, the best way to boost your cooking level is with orange spices through Hell Rats. This fucking sucks. Much better. Now that we've got some spices to attempt some boosts, make sure you are on the Lunar Spellbook so you can use the Bake Pie spell. Quick little tip, if you're trying to boost and your stats go negative, you can use the Pool Refreshment in the Ferox Enclave. This will refresh your stats back to normal without you having to use any super restores. Once you've boosted your level, use raw bear meat on the pie shells, followed by the chompy meat, and then lastly the rabbit meat. This will give you raw wild pies, and now you just have to use the Bake Pie spell. The reason why we use the Bake Pie spell instead of using the pies on a range is the Bake Pie spell makes it impossible for you to burn the pie, which you would otherwise burn quite a bit of if you did not have a high cooking level. And there we go. The Bake Pie spell has been used. All the pies are getting cooked now, and not a single one is going to get burned. Now let's discuss the Abyssal Demons part of this guide. And starting off, let's go ahead and get into gear setups. Make sure to bring your absolute best mage gear. A lot of people use prayer gear when bursting Abyssal Demons, but because we're working on a time limit, we want to have the best DPS we possibly can. As for melee and range, just bring the absolute best DPS once again for those attack styles. Now let's get into inventory setups. If you're going to use magic, make sure to bring all the runes you need for Shadow Burst, or if you have the level Shadow Barrage. Along with this, bring a Xerix Talisman so you can actually get to Korend. Bring 10 or so Wild Pies, or Prayer Potions so you can actually protect from melee over a long period. Make sure to bring your Ash Sanctifier. And then lastly, which is completely optional, bring something to tag the Abyssal Demons with. This can be either darts, knives, or a blowpipe. Now if you're using melee or range, all you have to do is bring the 10 wild pies, the Xerix Talisman, and those prayer potions, and that is all you're going to need. This is an ideal inventory setup. Now let's go ahead and get into killing the Abbey demons themselves. For one, make your way into the catacombs of Corrent. Once here, run north. Go east once you get to the hill giants, past the bloodvelds, and go past the necreals. Cross over this little staircase, down this other staircase over here, and then go west. And here you'll see 2 rooms in which Abbey demons can spawn. For our method, we are going to want to have both of these rooms empty of players, so we have to find an open world. And here we go. If you brought something that tagged the Abbey demons, go ahead and throw that on now. Throw on Protect from melee, eat a wild pie, and begin attacking the Abbey demons. Make sure to get all the Abbey demons from both sides on you. Once you have them all aggroed onto you, go ahead and face your camera west or east, and run like this to stack them all up on top of each other. As you can see, they're all grouped up on top of each other, and now you can mage them. You are going to get teleported around a bunch, which is a little bit annoying, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. If they start to split up like this, just go ahead and do the running thing once again, stack them all up, and continue bursting. And that is literally it. Now just pray that you get a whip. And that is going to be it for this guide. Thank you guys for watching, and if you found the guide helpful, make sure to drop a like and let me know in the comments below. While you're down there, you might as well just go ahead and subscribe as well. If you're looking for some Ironman content, I do actually have an Ironman completionist series in the works. A link for that is going to be provided in the description below. Along with the series, I am actually making more Ironman guides, loot from videos, and a bunch more. Other than that, I do actually stream my Ironman on Twitch as well. A link to my Twitch is going to be displayed on the screen right now, along with my Discord if you'd like to join. Both of those are going to be linked in the description below as well. Other than that, I hope all of you guys have a wonderful day. Good luck on your whip drops, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.